Just one F-bomb, just to the fans. Hey, it's time for the Bud list. Deebo Samuel demanding a trade. Somehow doesn't wind up on the list, though. Maybe it's because he's headed to New England, and that's a great home for him. You don't need to be on the Bud list for that. Who's under the most stress in the world of sports, Mr. Broussard?
Well, remember, Wilds, it's about motivation. So I'm starting with Nick's whipping boy. At number 5, Nikola Jokic. Come on, Joke.
Oh,
get
thank
Nick
God.
right off your back. All right, get him off your back. It's not that they're down 0-2. We don't expect them to beat the Warriors. But, Nick, what have I said all year long about my concern with Golden State? They're too small, right? Somebody's going to exploit them inside. Well, the Jokic, who the analytics brigade says is possibly the greatest offensive center ever, is having trouble with a guy that's a half foot shorter. I know he's a great defender, but Draymond Green has him in handcuffs. Jokic is 9 for 28, 0 for 8 from 3 against Draymond Green. 3 assists, 3 turnovers. Yo, you about to win your second straight MVP. This can't happen. All right, at number 4, Ben Simmons, guy that hadn't played in nearly a year, but he might be coming to the rescue. They're saying game 4, maybe. Hey, if they're down 3-0, don't even bother bringing him back. But if it's 2-1, is he ready to be thrown into the cauldron, the gauntlet of a must-win at Barclays Center? And here's the thing. I think he can provide some defense, some rebounding, and even a little playmaking. But can he handle if Boston goes hack-a-bin? Hack-a-bin. It would be smart strategy. He shot, 34% last year in the playoffs. I wonder, could Ben handle it mentally? That's why he's under duress. At number 3, Chris Paul, CP3. It was all good just a week ago, right? Looked like they were the best team in the league, about to run to his first championship. Nick had him passing up Isaiah Thomas, maybe Oscar, Steph. Who knows? Maybe Magic. Nick was so excited. Now, it looks like his best chance to win a championship could be in jeopardy because Devin Booker, their leading scorer, is out for, looks like at least the next 2 games, if not more. Heck, it's 1-1 with New Orleans. I'm not saying they'll lose to New Orleans, but Chris better get it going because they need him to score more because Book's out. And look, he averaged only 14 points a game this year. That's his career low. So is he up to the task? All right, at number 2, we're Nets heavy. Kyrie Irving. Wilds, maybe Kyrie should throw up a few birds. I don't know. I mean, last night, I don't know. I haven't seen Kyrie like that in a while. It's one thing, Nick predicted a bad game. He was right. But it was like Kyrie almost took himself out of him. All right, he wasn't it's one thing to miss shots, and he did. But he was not aggressive as he usually is. So, look, we all love Kyrie. He's your favorite player's favorite player. He's the most skilled guy to ever pick up the basketball. He is an icon. It's like in playground status, right? But he's got to show he can play some winning basketball in the postseason without LeBron James next to him. All right, you got Kevin Durant next to you, so let's get it done. At number 1, speaking of Kevin Durant.
Here we go.
KD. This is baffling. Kevin Durant is, what is he shooting? 8 for 30 in this series? It's worse than that. It's shooting horribly in this series.
Yeah.
And I believe
13 for 41,
this is not just 13 for 41 in this series. All right, they have locked him up. And we know he went to Brooklyn, even though he won't admit it, to show he could lead his own team to a championship. And not only is he on the cusp of going out in the first round, but his former team is looking like they might be back to championship mode without him. This is bad. KD has got to show up. He's got to school Grant Williams. And Jason Tatum's outplayed him. Even though Tatum wasn't great last night, he was bigger in the big moments and actually blocked the Durant jump shot. So KD's got to show up in game 3, Nick. That's the Bud list.
Can I throw a hypothesis at you about KD before I add my person on the Bud list? There are a lot of great sports curses. The curse of the Billy Goat. The curse of the Bambino. What about the curse of the big toe? Since Kevin Durant stepped on the line, he is 13 of 47 from the field in the playoffs. 13 of 47 from the field in the playoffs. Overtime of Game 7, the 2 games this series, 12 turnovers. I'm not ready to fully... I'm just staking a claim to that. It's like real estate in the metaverse. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but if it's ever useful, it's mine, America. However, I am adding Giannis because to whom much is given, much is expected. And Giannis is the best player in basketball. And I am not going to, because when you're a 2-time MVP, there are no round 1 excuses. So unlike other, I won't name any names, 2-time MVPs, we're not going to be like, well, Middleton wasn't there. Giannis in this series has been 30 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 blocks per game. Wilds, he needs to do more. The Bulls, they stole home court. Giannis is playing 37 minutes per game. Now with Middleton out for the foreseeable future, with the sprained MCL last night, if people didn't see it, that happened late last night. Giannis seems to be playing closer to 40, 41 minutes per game. Giannis needs to, and he almost did it last night, take over late, but it was not quite enough. Giannis, it's all on his big, broad shoulders. I think he can do it, but with no Chris Middleton, even more falls on him. I think he's up for the challenge. I'm adding him to the Bud list, Wilds.
I think that's a great take. I'm going to add Jay Wright's cell phone. Not Jay Wright himself, Jay Wright's cell phone, because I think it's going to be getting a lot of calls now that Jay Wright has surprisingly retired. So first of all, congratulations. 21 years, 2 national championships. You can easily go off into the sunset. But Jay, we are in the golden age of retirements. Maybe I'll unretire Tom Brady style. And I think Jay Wright, who's 60 years old, Broussard, that is old to go to Coachella, but young to be on the golf course for the rest of your life. I think Jay Wright can look around and say, Brad Stevens, I'm actually a better coach than you. You went out and had success with the Celtics, and now we're in an executive role. That seems good. Billy Donovan, you won some national championships. I actually think I'm a better coach than you, too. I see you in the playoffs. That seems fun and lucrative and challenging. Add to this, anytime someone has a USA basketball pedigree, I'm always thinking, worked with some superstars, developed some relationship. You get a taste of what it's like to be on the big stage, not only with NBA players, but also in the grandiose stage of the Olympics. So, I'm putting Jay Wright's cell phone there, Broussard. Do you think that he could pop up in the NBA? Hint, hint, Rob Pelinka.
Oh, that's a nice take, Wilds. And yeah, look, when he retired suddenly, that was the first thought. Like, is he going to the NBA? Now, you mentioned the Lakers. Look, Doc, so far so good in this first round. We'll see if Doc coaches well enough to keep his job. And I know Mike D'Antoni could be the guy in Philly, but Jay Wright right there wouldn't have to move. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
Or Brooklyn. Nick and Steve Nash. Wow. Nick doesn't think he can coach his way out of a brown paper bag. Brooklyn, and if they lose in this round, they'll be hungry. They'll be ready to listen. Kyrie won't be saying we don't need a coach. He won't be saying me and KD can coach. He'll be ready to listen to whoever's there. So that could be good too. Nick, Giannis, that's not a bad take because you're right. If Middleton's out, we want to see what can Giannis do on his own. And Chicago's surprisingly frisky in this round. Without Middleton, this is going to be a tough series for them. The reason I didn't have Giannis on there is because unlike every other player on the Bud list who's played, that's all of them except Ben Simmons, he is playing well. You mentioned his numbers. You forgot to throw in 54% shooting. So he's balling. Yep. The rest of these guys are leaving a lot to be desired individually. CP3 was 5 for 16 in game 2. So, but yeah, there's going to be pressure ratcheted up on him without Chris Middleton. And I don't think they're winning the finals, Nick, without Middleton.
Medals time. If you check the First Things First handbook, you know that you cannot make the Bud list and the medal stand. Since Giannis was on the Bud list, he is not on the medal stand. Nick, who did it better?
Something better than a medal for Giannis in a moment.
Ooh.
He gets the actual medal. Look at this. Giannis's season-long gold medal will be shipped to Milwaukee as soon as we're done with the show. Look at this gorge. That's Giannis's face on there. I don't know if you can tell with the glare.
it.
So Giannis gets this for winning the regular season award of most gold medals. But now we move on to the postseason. Giannis, got to step up. Bronze medal. Grant Williams. Cash in your plus 85,000 tickets that Grant Williams would get a playoff medal. The only reason the Celtics were alive in the first half was Grant Williams, three-point sniper. With 13 first-half points, he gets a bronze. Silver medal, DeMar DeRozan. You know what? I'm happy for DeMar. He needed a great playoff moment after the best regular season of his career, and he got one. 41, 7, and 4 for DeRozan. I still think they lose quickly, but good for DeRozan. And then, of course, the gold. The gold medal for a man who has 0 MVPs, but at least he has the dignity in the postseason to play like an MVP. Joel Embiid, 33 and 13. And, you know, he, again, that in-bet score, Knicks basketball eye test, he is off the charts. He gets a gold medal for last night.
Stop trying to make that happen. Stop.
That's
not gonna. I'm not gonna allow that to take off. No, you can't make
Knicks basketball
proprietary
eye
stats based on your eye test.
in-bet?
No, we're not. No, that's not gonna happen. We can't do that anymore. Goodness gracious, more on Celtics Nets, less on Knicks proprietary
Did you just call me a
statistics
moron?
after the break. No.